Denise. Denise. It's Denise. It's Denise. It's Denise. Denise. It's a podcast party. It's a podcast party. It's a podcast party.
I gotta say, I feel like we're besties now after this. What's up, guys? It's Denise Salcedo. Hey there, everyone. Happy Friday. What's up, guys? I gotta say, I'm feeling pretty pumped today. We got a decent episode of Smackdown. We actually got some news to talk about in regards to that show, so I'm very excited to get into that. And then on top of that, we got a pretty good AEW Rampage. Like right off the bat, I'm gonna say this, guys. All right, so I went to Rampage, the show before Full Gear, and I gotta tell you, man, I wasn't feeling it that night. I was a little bit bummed out. I kind of thought the show could have been better, right? And I thought, heading into a pay-per-view, like this show's got to be like a big deal. So that was my experience with the Rampage ahead of Full Gear. And so I go into the show for Rampage today ahead of AEW Revolution, and we kick it off with a banger of a match, the three-way for the TNT Championship. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, damn, this is exactly what Rampage needs to be, especially heading into a big pay-per-view such as AEW Revolution. So I got to start off by saying that, and we just got so much to get into, everybody. This is going to be a crazy weekend. So just to give you guys a quick rundown of what the heck is going on. First of all, I cannot even believe that I've gotten everything done that I needed to get done this week, at least the important stuff. I was seriously freaking out, guys. I thought I was not going to get things done before leaving. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to wake up like 4 a.m, maybe earlier, head over to LAX, fly from LAX to Texas, arrive in Texas, prepare for Mission Pro Wrestling, and I'm going to be doing commentary on that show. And then immediately after that show, I'm going to go to sleep, try to get like a couple of hours of sleep, and I am flying out. God, I think my flight's like at 7 something in the morning, so I got to be there like earlier to get to Orlando. And then I'm flying to Orlando on Sunday, the day of the pay-per-view. So hopefully everything goes well. Getting there to Orlando, as soon as I get there, get ready, go to the show, come out of the show, do the media scrum, and get all of that stuff up and going. And then Monday, I will be still in Orlando, and Tuesday, I will be back in LA. But Monday, I will be doing my AEW post-show for Revolution. So it's a lot that's going on, guys. We got a super chat from Reggie Simmons. Thank you so much to my friend Reggie, who says, maybe a little hyperbole, but that was probably the best episode of Rampage ever. Could be the tequila speaking, LOL. Well, I think the best Rampage ever is probably still like CM Punk's debut and all of that good stuff. That's probably still like the best one. But in terms of just like, I think really what it was that made today's Rampage really good was legitimately just the fact that we got this banger of a match between Sami and Darby and Andrade. So before we get started, guys, I want to put a poll really quickly here, or not a poll, but on the comments. Do you guys want me to start off talking about Smackdown today, or do you guys want me to start off talking about Rampage? Please, if you are in the chat, let me know if you prefer for me to start off with Smackdown today or with Rampage, since we do got quite a bit to go over for both shows. So I want to make sure people are happy with what we're starting with for the day. So as soon as I get those comments going, we'll go ahead and kick off this stuff. Okay, we got let's see, we got a couple people saying Rampage. Mostly everybody's saying Rampage. All right, sounds good. Let's go ahead and kick it off with Rampage, guys. So like I said, this was definitely the best Rampage that we've, not the best, but it's one of the strongest Rampage. It was definitely a good Rampage heading into the actual pay-per-view. It was like the pre-show to the pre-show before the pay-per-view. All right, so I believe, yeah. So prior to AEW Rampage, we did get a tweet announcement from Tony Khan. So we'll start there. The announcement was essentially that he is going to be signing Paige Vanzant. So Paige Vanzant is soon to be All Elite. I think he said she's going to be signing on Dynamite from the looks of it. You know, Tony Khan, he writes a bunch of stuff in the tweet. Like, he stacks up his tweets. But from what I understood, she's signing on Wednesday's episode of Dynamite. So let's talk about that for a second. For those of you who are in the chat, how do you guys feel about this? Paige Vanzant being signed to AEW. Are you guys excited for this? Is this something where you're like, well, let me see, etc.? Just based off what I know from Paige Vanzant and all of that, personally, I think this is a pretty good signing. She is somebody that I believe has crossover appeal. She may not be a big of a star as Ronda Rousey, but a lot of people do like Paige Vanzant. So that is obviously a good thing. She's a likable person. So that's something to, I think, make note of. And when she was doing like the UFC on Fox cards, like she was like a ratings draw on those UFC on Fox card shows. She was never like, how would I say this? She was like a tier below the championship level where she would beat like your average fighters. Like, she wouldn't be beating your top contenders or your champions, but she was still likable. And with that being said, people liked her. So I do think that I think she's going to add something different to the AEW women's division that's not necessarily there just yet, in sense of like, she's going to come in. She's, you know, She's a star outside of wrestling. So I think that's a good thing. I'm excited to see what she'll do. And, you know, she was supposed to be working that program with Brandy Rhodes. They had started that already on Dynamite. Obviously, Brandy left, so they're not going to be doing that anymore. I would really like to see her, you know, do something. I see two options here for Paige, as at least for her first story. I'm thinking either like if it's Britt Baker or Thunder Rosa, whoever wins the championship, I would like to see Paige Vanzant go after that person, and not necessarily to like win the title or anything like that, but just to kind of be like this hot story to kind of start off. Like, for example, if it's Thunder Rosa, like let's say she wins the title on Sunday, I think that like if Paige were to challenge her, it'd be something like newsworthy to give a little bit of attention, a little bit more attention to the title, right? So that would be pretty cool. If it's Britt Baker retains, I think if she were to do something with Paige, that would be cool too, because I think it would, you know, add to Britt Baker's title run, especially if she is to defeat Thunder Rosa on Sunday. Thunder Rosa is like her hottest competitor. That's the competitor people have been waiting to see Britt Baker wrestle against. So what's something that could be hot after that? It could be Paige Vanzant. And if they don't do anything with like Britt or Thunder Rosa with Paige, they can also, you know, have her do something with one of the other women on the roster. You know, again, add more depth to that women's division, and you can do that with Paige and incorporating her into a story. We got 2 super chats. Yes. This one is from Darth Steven C777, who says, so happy for you and be safe this weekend. Thank you so much. I'm hoping everything goes all right, guys. I'm vlogging this weekend too, so hopefully I don't forget to actually film material for my vlog. That happens. And if it comes out all right, and if there's interesting stuff, then I'll post a vlog out, because my last vlog did really well. So we'll see. We got another super chat. This one is from Lamora, who says, wrestling is amazing, Denise. I love that you spent your super chat on that. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much to Lamora for sending that in as well. All right. So in terms of people and what they've been saying, thank you. So this is a comment from Redmond Survivor. Thank you for bringing this up. Rosa has MMA experience, so that would be good opponent for Paige Vanzant. Thank you. I almost forgot to mention that, so I really appreciate you bringing that up. There you go. Another reason, right? Another reason. I really like that. Let's see what else we got here. Pretty much a lot of people putting over AEW Rampage. Let's see. Touch of Grace says it's best for Paige that the Brandy thing didn't work out. GS says PVZ scared Brandy out of AEW. That's enough payoff for me. Juice81 says, I'm excited, very familiar with her MMA career. She will pick it up quickly. Yeah, dude, like from what I've seen of her, I think like, again, she's going to bring something different, so it'll be all right. Let's see what we got here. This is from The Worst Gamer, who says, there's not a lot of screen time for them to be bringing in more green women that will that they will feature. I get what you're saying, but Paige Vanzant has like, the celebrity status. So I do think she can add something to, to the division with that aspect. Thank you so much for sending that in as well. All right, so let's go ahead and continue on from here, everybody. So, Twitch Phase 4 says they need to change her name so that people don't mistake her for Ethan Page. Too many pages, man. Well, and you also got Adam Page, Paige herself. Am I forgetting another Page? No, I don't think so. All right. Let's go ahead and continue on, guys. So AEW Rampage literally kicked off with a hot match. All right. This match, and I knew it. I told everybody when we were kind of, going through the rundown of what matches were going to be taking place today. I told everybody, Andrade, Sami, and Darby, they're going to kill it. This is going to be a good match. But granted, sometimes on Rampage, I think because, it is a 1-hour show, sometimes we get stiffed a little bit when it comes to the timing of a match. Sometimes you don't get, you get a good match, right? But because of the time constraints, they don't go all the way with it. I thought that they went all the way with this one. This was really phenomenal, okay? First of all, I'm going to start off by saying that this match could have legitimately opened up AEW Revolution. Like, honestly, I'm a little upset. I'm gonna complain. I think this match could have been the opening match for AEW Revolution. It would have been such a freaking good way to kick off the show, but I did think that having this match is a good way to at least kick off the weekend, that's for sure. But there was a lot of good stuff that happened. I mean, dude, a bunch of great spots. Darby, just to mention a few, Darby hitting the code red on Andrade. That was really fun. We got some really great interactions between Sami and Darby right off the top of this match. There was a moment where Darby was on the top rope and he's like kind of, already like weakening down, and Sami just runs up to him, hits him with a knee strike straight to the face. That was good. And then there was another really cool spot where they're all on the rope, on the top rope, and it's all three guys at the exact same time. You have Andrade, he power bombs Sami as Sami is carrying Darby and has him like in a vertical suplex, and they all essentially go down and hit the mat. That was such an awesome spot. From there, we see Andrade do like moonsault, standing moonsault splash from there. We see Andrade, there's this moment where he kicks Darby in the face, and for some reason, it just looked a lot more aggressive than they normally do. But when he kicked him in the face, there was like this instant wake up in Darby where he was like, what the fuck? Like, he basically he was pissed, man. Darby, literally, that kick pissed him off, and then he just went at it with Andrade. That was really good too. We got to see Sami do the coast to coast drop kick. That was fun. So pretty much a lot of fast paced action. For the actual finish, what we saw here was Darby hitting the coffin drop on Andrade, and just as he's going to get the 3 count on Andrade, we got the camera kind of low, so we're only seeing really the pin, but then out of nowhere, you just see Darby land from out of nowhere from the top rope onto Darby Allin to essentially break up the count, and so Sami ends up getting the win and therefore retaining his championship. But this was really, really great. Afterwards, we saw Sami try to go in and shake the hand of Darby Allin, and I legitimately thought that they were going to shake hands, and I was like, all right, cool. It's going to be a nice little good job, nice pat on the back. It wasn't. Darby was not having it, and I kind of like this. So now we know that we're going to be most likely seeing a little bit more of Sami and Darby possibly going at it once again. But I do want to take a second to really put over Andrade as well. Andrade was kind of the guy that, he came from WWE. He comes into AEW. Yeah, he had these banger matches with Pac, but I still think a lot of people were sort of, on the fence of whether or not to really get behind Andrade. But based on the matches that we've seen from him in AEW, more specifically the work that he did with Pac, and then the one that he did tonight, I honestly feel happy that I've been rooting for Andrade to essentially have this spot, to have this moment in AEW, because we all knew what he was before as La Sombra, and everything that he could do before. But coming out of WWE, obviously he kind of had to find his groove again, find his get back on his feet and all of that, and he legitimately has, at least a lot. So you did see that in that match today. And again, the work that he did with Pac. So I do want to make sure that I put him over. On top of that, I also need to put over Sami, because he's been having nonstop great matches as TNT champion. Matches with Ethan Page, Bobby Fish, Jay Lethal, Cody Rhodes, and now Darby and Andrade. So that was really some really good stuff. We got, get your thoughts in, guys. I'm going to get some of these comments in here, but I'll kick it off with the super chats. This is from iChurch Pastor Blaster. Dude, it's been a hot second. Thank you so much for coming back. iChurch Pastor Blaster says, here's to the hardest work in wrestling. All the best. Oh, I can't read. All the best, sis. Thank you so much for this very kind super chat. I really appreciate you coming back to the channel, man. Let's see what else we got here. We got a lot going on here. We got a super chat from Jamie Guillen, who says, this match was insanely good. Dare I say, better than the match between Kenny Omega, Pac, and Orange Cassidy. Ooh, that one was really good. I would have to watch them back to back to make that decision. No, I can't. No. I really did like Kenny Omega, Pac, Orange Cassidy. No. I like that one. I still like that one more than this one. I'm getting ahead of myself just because this one is in my recent memory. But no, now that I'm kind of flashbacking a little bit, I wouldn't say it was better than that one. That one was just I really like that one too, but then it depends on the person. Thank you so much to Jamie Guillen for sending in that super chat as well. And we actually have another one from Cadillac Carson, another good friend of the show. Cadillac Carson says, I know it's not Andrade's time to win some gold, but it really needs to be his time. He was a beast in this match. Hope Sammy's coast to coast doesn't give Shane McMahon any ideas. That's the thing too, because here's the thing. Like we mentioned the match that he did with Pac, right? That was great. But I do think a lot of the people, the IWC, I feel like they were really just kind of focusing in on Pac. Like, oh yeah, that match was great. And Pac. I feel like Pac got most of the attention or credit after that match. And even with this match, people aren't not giving credit to Andrade, but they're also more so talking about Darby and Sami, because we all know that they're known for having these good matches and they're like the future of AEW. So I want to make sure we're also talking about Andrade. Thank you so much to Cadillac Carson for this very kind comment. This is a comment from Ryan Cordes, who says, I honestly don't think Andrade needs a belt anymore. At least for me, I will watch and love anything he's in at this point. So I agree where you're coming from. The only reason I would say he does need a belt is legitimately for validation. I think he needs to be validated in the sense that, again, a lot of people were sort of on the fence with Andrade and kind of what you were seeing in the beginning with him in AEW. So I do think that if some point, if he were to, win the TNT title, I do think it would be a huge validation for him. Kind of yeah, he got there. He made it. This is, he did good work, and here's the reward. So that's the only reason why I would say that he does need the belt, legitimately just for validation and all of that. Let's see what else we got here, guys. And this is also from Cassie420, who says, agreed, Andrade should be getting more credit. Agree, guys. And this is from Tony Shade, who says, I'm mostly talking about Andrade after this. I think it was his most impressive performance. It was good stuff, guys. Good stuff. All right, let's go ahead and continue on from here. So that was literally the match that I think had everybody really feeling themselves. But let's go ahead and continue on, because after this, we had not a debut, but a return, an appearance. We had the House of Black and Pac and Penta essentially doing their dark boy gothic stuff in the ring and all of that. Oh, guys, please, chat, remind me, what was it, the song, the Max Caster, Anthony Bowen song? Oh my gosh, or the Darby Sting song. Someone remind me of the song lyrics. What was it, goth boy something phase? Ooh, I'm blanking on the lyrics right now. Someone sent them to me. Anyways, I'm going to wait for that because I want people to send that in. All right, but anyway, so we got their confrontation here, and the big thing that we need to talk about here is that we had Eric Redbeard, formerly known as Eric Rowan, who appeared today on AEW Rampage. This was completely out of the blue. I didn't see any reports on this whatsoever, unless I missed it. I didn't see any of this. This is interesting because he essentially came out and aligned himself with Pac and Penta. I kind of thought that this was an interesting pairing, to say the least. Good for him. You know, he's coming in, he's aligning himself with these guys. They needed a third guy. Sure, why the hell not? So the last time that we saw him, or rather the first time that we saw him in AEW, was when he came out for the Dynamite Memorial Show for Brody Lee. And so he did come out during that. So that's when we saw him in Dynamite, and then now today on Rampage. So kind of going back to a little bit of what was going down with Rowan and all of that. He was part of the releases from April 15th, 2020. He was part of those releases along with a bunch of other people, right? And so from there, that ended his like 9-year period in WWE. And then from there on, I think he was doing like a couple of like indie dates and whatnot. So now he's here with AEW. So good for him, guys. Honestly, I don't know what else to say. Good for him. Let's see what people are saying here in terms of how people felt about this. I'm trying to find someone to send me the lyrics. Did someone send the lyrics yet? Let me see. I might have missed it. Thank you. Pile driver finisher. The lyrics were 2 grown men with a goth face. Thank you. I knew it was something about men and goth and something, but I couldn't remember. Anyway, so that's how I felt about that. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see what people are saying in regards to this appearance. This one is from Sean Williams, who says, great to see Redbeard again after his last appearance on the Brody tribute. Yes, agreed on that as well. El Profe Jr. 88 says, Redbeard seems to be a last-minute replacement for Phoenix, who wasn't cleared. Yeah, seems to be like it too. And D. Eddie says, once a spooky boy in any faction. Once a spooky boy in any faction, always a spooky boy. We love the spooky boys, or the 2 grown men going through a goth phase. Good stuff, guys. And Pro Wrestling Fan says, King and Redbeard are going to beat the hell out of each other. Great buy-in card. Yeah, really nice addition to that. Really nice addition. Andrew Cook says, I totally got fooled that Alex was going to be the third guy. Alex did train as a wrestler, and Pac and Penta are badass enough to try to protect him, but Redbeard is better. Honestly, like, I legitimately, guys, I did not know much about Alex going into this. Like, I didn't really know anything about him. Like, he just appeared on AEW one day, and I was like, all right, cool, here's this guy. But he has seriously surprised me, especially ever since he took this role where now he's on the microphone more as not like an announcer or anything like that, but more so as a personality. He's really feeling himself every week. Like he went into that role and he really made it his own. So good for him, man. Good for him. Alrighty, guys. So after this, we got a match between JD Drake and Keith Lee. This is Keith Lee's second match in AEW, his first match in AEW Rampage. This was all right, guys. Like, this was literally just kind of like what they did with Wardlow on Dynamite, but with Keith Lee instead, basically having him go up against a not small guy, going up against a big guy like JD Drake and making him look like a rag doll, literally lifting him up over his head, slamming him to the mat. It was good stuff. We got to see JD Drake hit his moonsault. Always kind of throws me aback when he does it, but either way, this was fine. Afterwards, we saw the wingmen coming out, and Keith Lee ends up tossing Peter Avalon over the top rope onto a pile of guys. So this was pretty much just to continue the promotion of the Face of the Revolution ladder match and give Keith Lee a match. No harm, no foul. All righty, let's go ahead and continue on from here. And I can't wait actually to talk about this next thing. But before I do, just a friendly reminder, guys, I am going to be at AEW Revolution this weekend, which means I will not only be attending the event live in person, but I will also be attending the AEW Media Scrum. I will be live tweeting, I will be recording, I will be posting those videos up on my YouTube channel. But the following day, on Monday, I'm going to be going live here on F4W online at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time to talk about the show and also give you guys some insight in terms of what was talked about in the media scrum. And we're also going to pretty much give you guys my firsthand experience of what went down. Usually those shows do pretty well because I literally come in here with like a ton of information from what went down on the weekend. So don't miss that. You can set your reminder. The stream has already been set up on this channel. Just set your reminder and I'll see you guys there. We got a super chat from William Santoro Jr. who says, love the prediction show with Brandon from wrestling. You shamed him with all your super chat and followers over half in a 2-man poll is amazing. Yeah, and here's the thing too, like I think people are always surprised because guys, like on my YouTube channel, I'm not funded by like a big corporation. I don't got a Barstool Sports behind me. Like I legitimately just have me. So I think a lot of people are always like, oh shoot, like how'd she do that by herself? So yeah, but it was a good show. Really a lot of fun. D Hetty says pre-order your nachos. Oh God, I've been having the worst luck with nachos at these events. We got a super chat from a good friend here, Christopher Marino, who says, have fun Sunday and here's a little something for nachos. After I just said I wasn't going to get nachos, I'll get a soda. I always get a soda. Thank you so much to Christopher Marino for sending in this lovely super chat. Queen of Hueco Mundo says Rampage today was the better show. Oh man, I'm trying to remember, guys. There's so much wrestling. I'm blanking on everything already. All right, let's get into this, guys. No, Dynamite was pretty good. It was really good too. Sorry, I was just trying to think like what happened on Dynamite. All right. Literally just spoke about that 2 days ago. All right. CM Punk. Ooh, all right. So on Wednesday, we saw MJF literally make CM Punk completely make him bleed, man. The man was bleeding so much blood. I haven't seen that much blood in a very long time. So we've been talking so much about this feud with MJF and CM Punk and how it's progressed and what it's done for both of those guys. So I won't go into too much about that, but they really kind of kept it going today in a simple way. I was not expecting them to really do anything prior to the show for this feud on Rampage. I just wasn't really expecting anything. Maybe like a little recap, but I wasn't expecting some fresh new content. So I gotta say, I was so freaking happy when they ended up showing a shot that we haven't seen before. From last week, where CM Punk is being checked by the medical team backstage, and he's sitting down back there in their medical room, and he is bleeding up a storm, and he is angry. He is pissed off because MJF fooled him. MJF pulled out that soft spot in his heart, made him bring down his walls, bring down his barriers. Fooled him into getting a hug only to low blow him and then literally beat him so much that he's literally bleeding so much, right? So he really kind of broke CM Punk and really made him snap, because after this, during this backstage, clip that we're seeing, CM Punk goes to the camera and he's freaking pissed off, okay? And there's this one line that he says that I think kind of really it struck a chord, not because I've experienced anything like it, but because it sounded cool. CM Punk says that he was basically feeling so much pain, but that pain made him feel alive, and that's what made him feel alive. So for him to kind of say that, I kind of felt like, all right, I get it. Like MJF broke CM Punk. He broke the I don't want to say facade because it's not a facade, but he kind of broke this like version of CM Punk that we've been getting on AEW. The CM Punk that came in and was like, hi guys, I'm glad to be back. Woohoo. He broke that CM Punk and basically made like the monster CM Punk come out. And so that, for me, you got to give MJF credit for that, man. So I like how this has not only elevated MJF in terms of like his promo skills, in terms of what kind of character he can be, but it also, changed the course, changed the direction of who CM Punk is on AEW. So I really liked that. This was good. He basically says he knows who he is, and he's pissed, guys. He's pissed. Cadillac Carson sends in his super chat saying CM Punk had this look in his eyes. His eyes were shining through the blood on his face. Man, I can't wait for this match. I would say that this feels like the match that is most anticipated by the people. I think that, as much as we all love the Adam Page and Adam Cole, I don't necessarily feel the buzz for that one as much as the CM Punk MJF match. I feel a lot of buzz for like Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker. And I also feel buzz for Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley. I feel buzz for that one as well. But I would say that CM Punk MJF heading into this pay-per-view definitely has the most buzz. It feels the hottest for sure. Thank you so much to Cadillac Carson for sending this in. And thank you, the Cooch97. Your comment just reminded me that I shared this tweet on Twitter. And so AEW is selling the blood variant shirt of the photo of CM Punk and MJF. They're selling the shirt. So if you go, you can get a shirt with the white t-shirt with the photo just like MJF, but instead they have like the blood. So it's like the blood variant. Kind of looks pretty cool. Not gonna lie. Nathan R says, Denise, why does it look like you just escaped from jail during the 1950s? I just bought this shirt. I bought this shirt yesterday. That's kind of nice, huh? Oh, it's kind of lame. I don't know. We got a super chat from Christopher Mack who says, hey, Denise, hope you have a good day. Punk Takeover. Thank you so much, Christopher. I'm hoping to have a good day. And yeah, Punk Takeover, I'm here for it. Thank you so much to Christopher Mack for sending this in. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and continue on. So we also get a quick backstage segment where Ty Conti jumps Jade Cargill backstage. She was aggressive. She comes in and she's like, you have a few hours left till I take that belt from you. Good for her. Nothing else much to say about that. Let's move on to Serena Deeb's 5-minute rookie challenge. She is with Layla Gray. Layla Gray is the rookie for the day. And this ends super fast. I don't even remember anything that happened. Serena Deeb won. But the thing we do need to talk about is Hikaru Shida. She came out red hot. Not just red hot with energy, but red hot. Girl looked amazing. Looked gorgeous. And that outfit that she was wearing, praise. Nothing but praise there for Shida. But anyways, Shida goes super savage and she literally beats the shit out of Serena Deeb with the kendo stick. She goes mad, just smacking the hell out of Serena Deeb. So I wasn't expecting to see Shida here tonight. I'm glad that she came out and attacked Serena Deeb. I was wondering, I think my expectations of this rookie challenge thing, I was expecting for some rookie to outshine Serena Deeb. That's where I thought they were going with this. I wasn't expecting this to kind of circle back into what she was doing with Hikaru Shida. So that seems that's going to continue. Cool. Alrighty. And let's go ahead and move on from this here. Afterwards, we had the Face of the Revolution qualifier, Christian Cage versus Ethan Page. I don't really have much to say about this match, to be honest. I thought it was all right. Like, it wasn't, I wasn't too crazy about this match. I think that we just had so much other good stuff, especially that opening match, which was more phenomenal. But either way, we saw Christian Cage pick up the win. I really wasn't sure who I thought was going to win this match. I don't know. I think for me, I was already looking forward to the Face of the Revolution match where, like, whether or not Christian Cage and Ethan Page were going to be in it wasn't like a make it or break it for me. Like, there wasn't one guy where I thought, oh, if he's not in it, this is a make it or break it for me. I think it was more so of like, all right, we're going to add another guy. Cool, whatever. But Christian Cage, obviously, we all know his history with, TLC matches and all of that good stuff. I think that in hindsight, like, he's the guy that should I get what people are saying. Like, people are going to be like, Ethan Page should have won, right? Because, he's the young guy. He needs a lot, right? Like, they need to put more focus on him. He's been in the shadows of Dan Lambert and all of that stuff for quite a bit. So I can see why people would want Ethan Page to be in this. But I think Christian Cage was cool for this just because again, his history with all of that, I think he's going to do hopefully some cool stuff. And so he joins Orange Cassidy, Wardlow, Hobbs, Keith Lee, and Starks in the Face of the Revolution ladder match. Post-match, we do see all three tag teams essentially confront each other. Good stuff. Nice way to end the show. Let's see. Eric Lewis says she kicked the Shida out of the Deeb. She really did, guys. She went all in there, man. She went all out. Question the Mark says, I was fine with either guy winning. Hope Ethan gets the TNT title eventually, though. I don't know, man. I just feel like there's so many guys. And if you're going to stack them all, like if I were to stack up all of these guys that I think are potential TNT champions, unfortunately, I don't see Ethan Page like completely up there, mainly because there hasn't been much focus on him. Like since he came into AEW, he's kind of been like, if I'm going to be ranking people like in A, B, and C, I would put him like in the C category in the sense that he hasn't really been featured as much. You know what I mean? That's the best way I can put it right now. All right, let's go ahead and continue on here. This one is from Andrew Cook, who says, I think the big plus side here is that Christian will be helping to plan this big ladder match so his experience should help elevate it. Thank you for putting that. I agree with that. I like that. D. Eddie says, so Claudio Castagnoli can't spell his name, shows up to win the ladder match. I don't know, guys. Honestly, I wasn't even expecting to see a surprise today and for Tony to also announce that he's signing Paige Vanzant. So it kind of feels like two surprises in one day. He's stacking things up, guys. But I mean, now I'm not like so, I guess you can say concerned, mainly just because it's like the whole Ring of Honor announcement. And that's a whole other thing. We talked about that already on Wednesday. I won't even get into that right now. All right, guys, let's go ahead and jump in. Let's transition into WWE Smackdown. Before you go, because you're like, I don't want to talk about WWE, stay here. We actually do got some stuff to talk about. So let's go ahead and highlight this show because we did get some good moments here tonight. So let's get into it. We're going to kick things off with Sami Zayn versus Ricochet. This was actually a really good match too. Honestly, it was. But obviously, Sami Zayn has a lot of good matches. I'm a big fan of Sami Zayn. Really enjoy his work. Ricochet is that guy that people have been like, damn, they really messed him up in WWE. Well, it's looking like, granted, the SmackDown roster is very, very slim. So whether you can argue that this is by default or because they're actually going to do something with him, possibly, Ricochet is now the new Intercontinental Champion. But this is what went down. So basically, the 99.9% of this match was Ricochet doing cool shit in the ring, like all the stuff that Ricochet does, kicking this match off like with high speed. Sami Zayn stopped him at one point with a clothesline, but Ricochet picked it back up immediately. There was a sequence that I absolutely love. So first of all, I believe there was a suplex on the ring apron. But after that, there was a sequence that I really loved. So we saw Ricochet sweep the leg of Sami Zayn, and then he followed it with a standing moonsault. Then went for the pin. It was a near fall, and then followed that immediately with a drop kick, and then did a freaking backflip moonsault over the top rope. And I'm talking, this was all like bang, bang, bang. This all happened right after one another. So that was really good. And it was one of those moments where I was like, tell me again why we haven't done anything with Ricochet. Tell me again. So, he's killing it. But then we have Johnny Knoxville coming out. And I'm like, oh, God. All right. We already know where this is going. This is going to ruin the match, right? But I will say this. It was easy. There wasn't too much interference. It was just enough for him to distract Sami Zayn and for Ricochet to get the win. So it furthers the story with Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville. And hey, Ricochet is now Intercontinental Champion. Thumbs up. Good for him. Also, it is official. We officially are going to be seeing Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville. We kind of already knew this. There were already reports and rumors and all of that good stuff. But it is official for WrestleMania. We are going to be seeing Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville. he accepted his challenge tonight. So there you go. Good stuff there. And let's go ahead and continue on here. And let's see what people thought about this. This is from Sean Williams, who says, Ricochet is the greatest high flyer in wrestling, according to himself. At least someone is putting him over. He's good, guys. He's good. It's just he's been on the back burner for a bit, guys. Alrighty, but now let's go ahead and get into a segment that led to another WrestleMania matchup. And this was good, but it was one-sided good. Let me explain. So they basically recapped a little bit of that Pat McAfee, Vince McMahon interview that he did. BTW, if you haven't seen that, watch it. I would say it's a little long, but I would watch at least part of it. It was good. It was good. I liked it. Anyways, so they highlight that and they promote, hey, when we come back from commercial break, Vince McMahon is here, and they show his locker room, right? He didn't come out. We didn't see him. But they made it seem like Vince McMahon was going to come out and announce Pat McAfee's opponent. And I'm thinking like, man, this is it. We're going to find out right now. Is it either going to be Austin Theory, or is it really going to be Vince McMahon? Is Vince McMahon really going to wrestle Pat McAfee? So at this point, I'm thinking, this is it. We're going to find out. We come back from commercial break. Austin Theory comes out immediately and he starts putting himself over as Mr. McMahon's protege. He says, wherever Vince goes, I go. And if you don't watch Raw, I watch Raw every week. All right. We've been getting, I think now, I don't know, maybe 10. I think we've gotten 10 at some, maybe I didn't count, but I think we've gotten 10 backstage segments between Austin Theory and Vince McMahon throughout the past several months now. They've been bonding. It's been like really weird because every week one week I thought it was going one direction. The other week I was like, I misunderstood this. We're going another direction. So it's been a little interesting to see their interactions because you really couldn't make out where it was going. There was a lot of stuff about a pencil. There was a lot of stuff about selfies. There was the egg thing, that whole thing. I mean, there was a lot of randomness in this Austin Theory, Vince McMahon relationship. When Austin Theory said he was Vince McMahon's protege, I was like, that's news to me because I've been watching Raw every single week, and I don't think we ever really fully knew that you were Vince McMahon's protege. So thank you for finally telling us this. So anyways, he starts telling Pat McAfee, you know, Vince McMahon only went on your show to set you up. And so he gets in the face of Pat McAfee, and in the kind of a very lame way, Austin Theory reveals himself as his opponent. So I kind of did not like the reveal aspect of it. I thought Austin Theory I think they could have made it a little bit more cooler. I don't know. It was just like, I'm your opponent. And I was like, oh, So it was a little bit of a letdown. But Pat McAfee, when I said this was one-sided, Pat McAfee freaking sold this, man. I don't know how many people here, I think for the most part, people are fans of Pat McAfee because he really brings a lot of charisma and energy, and he's very funny on commentary and all of good stuff. I have to give him credit, man. I think like when he was first, feuding with Adam Cole back in NXT, I was a little hesitant. I was kind of like, where's this going? But the second I saw him on the mic, I thought, you know what? He's bringing it, man. He's bringing it. He's doing a good job. After the matches with Adam Cole, I was like, all right, cool. We saw him in War Games. I have nothing but respect for the dude. So when I found out he was wrestling at WrestleMania, I thought, nice. But against Vince McMahon, not the greatest idea, right? So given that this match is with Austin Theory, his character has been developing, but he doesn't have that. He's not The Rock, all right? Let's just put it that way. He's not The Rock. He doesn't have that kind of level charisma. Pat McAfee has a lot more enthusiasm and all of that, so he really brought it. So there's this moment where Austin Theory throws the microphone onto, throws a microphone. I think it was a microphone. Yeah, it was the microphone. He throws it at Pat McAfee, and Pat McAfee gets super pissed off. He gets super heated. He calls him a little bitch. He tells him I don't even know who you are. And he's like, what the fuck was that? They mute him on the microphone. He's all pissed off. He's going on a rant. He calls him a boy toy thirst trap, this and that. You know Pat McAfee. He just goes off. And this is hilarious as hell because Michael Cole is kind of trying to be the person of reasoning. He's like, you know what, Pat, you need to calm down. You need to collect yourself. Are you okay? You need to be a professional. We need to continue this broadcast. And he's going on and on. And then finally, Pat McAfee says, shut up, Cole. Feel the glow. Because it was as Naomi's music was coming out. This was great, though. But I thought it was great mainly because of the way that Pat McAfee sold this after Austin Theory got in his face. So I got to give Pat a lot of credit here. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. And let's see what we got here in terms of all of this. Our Rig says, Theory bores me. There are many others on the roster who do what he does, but can do it better. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily... if you're going to put Pat McAfee in a match, I don't think Austin Theory would have been my first pick. I don't know who my pick would have been, but I don't think it would have been Austin Theory. I think I would have liked to see somebody that could maybe perhaps match the energy that Pat McAfee has. I think if you were getting like a... if you were getting both sides that were really like, bringing it, I think that would have been good. But Austin Theory does kind of fall a little bit short of enthusiastic expectations. That's the best way that I can put it. But he's great. I do think he's good in the ring, though. Let me say that. Austin Theory, like I was watching, all his matches in NXT throughout NXT, and he didn't have one bad match on NXT. So I will give him credit that I don't want to say oh, he's terrible. He just doesn't have the enthusiasm, enough enthusiasm. That's the best way. Okay, well, there you guys go. Let's go ahead and continue on from here. We got a match between Naomi and Carmella. This was really nice, really simple. Naomi gets the win here after she hits her split-legged moonsault. Really quick match. She gets the win. She's still with Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks is in her corner. Next week, we're going to be seeing Sasha Banks versus Queen Zelina. Good win for Naomi. I like what this is doing for her. It's kind of moving her up the ranks. I like it. Her association with Sasha Banks, good stuff. They're really cute together. Thumbs up. We got a quick promo from Roman Reigns. This was a lot of nothing, to be honest. This Roman Reigns promo wasn't much my favorite. He's been a little bit more angrier now, really trying to get... He seems a little frustrated over this whole Brock Lesnar thing. He went on a tantrum last week about how this is mine and that's mine and this belongs to me and this is mine and all of that. And so today he basically kind of said a bunch of stuff that all ended with Brock Lesnar needs to acknowledge me. So that's there's not really much else to add about that, to be honest. All righty. And then lastly, our final segment on SmackDown, we got Ronda Rousey versus Sonia Deville. This was Ronda Rousey's first ever match on SmackDown. Dude, she looks good. I think in terms of everything that we've seen from Ronda Rousey since she returned to WWE, this was the best that we have seen. She was just she was moving Sonia Deville like Sonia Deville was a doll. I mean, it was ridiculous. She was just moving her body back and forth, tossing her back and forth, working the arm. Finally, she gets her in the arm bar. And then after that, she wins the match, makes her tap out. She looked really freaking great. This was the best that she's looked. So good for Ronda Rousey. Charlotte was doing commentary. And so afterwards, she gets in the ring, and this makes Ronda look even better because immediately she gets her in the ankle lock, and they're basically selling the fact that, that Ronda Rousey isn't a one-trick pony, because that's what Charlotte Flair says, that Ronda Rousey is a one-trick pony. So Ronda Rousey puts her in an ankle lock while Charlotte Flair is still in her heels, I may add. Still in her heels, puts her in an ankle lock, and... Charlotte's freaking out, and that's pretty much the end of it. So they made Ronda Rousey look really great today, and they really needed that, especially heading in, given the fact that we're just about, we're about a month away from WrestleMania now. So that's pretty much where we are at with that. Alrighty, and this is a comment from Eric Lewis who says, did you see the look on Austin Theory that he had when Loomis and Indy got married? Now that was enthusiasm and personality, much more than the comatose look Jungle Boy has a look on his face during interviews. Wait, are you comparing Jungle Boy and Austin Theory? Hold on, I'm confused. All right. Austin Theory, when he was doing that stuff with the way on NXT, there were some good moments. There were some moments where I was like, oh, this isn't for me. But then there were other moments where he was funny, right? And some of like the dorky stuff with Johnny Gargano. It wasn't for everybody, but if you had an open mind and you laugh at cheesy stuff, it was all right. Could get by. But I don't think I wouldn't make the comparison with Jungle Boy, though. They're two different types of characters, though. Like, I don't see Jungle Boy as funny. I don't think Jungle Boy's supposed to be funny. He's just like a lovable dude, but I don't see him as funny. All right, so I don't feel like you can compare the two. But anyways, moving on from that. Alrighty, guys. So BTW, before we wrap up this show, just friendly reminder that I will be back here on Monday for a special AEW Revolution post stream, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Please be here. It's going to be a lot of information, especially because I will be at the event and I will be attending the media scrum. Also, I should let you guys know, if you are going to AEW Double or Nothing in Las Vegas this Memorial Weekend in May, F4W, we have this big convention that is taking place, and it is taking place at the Future Stars of Wrestling Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. There's just a lot that's going on, but just to give you guys a brief rundown, on Saturday, May 28th, there is going to be the meet and greet with Brian and Dave, and they're also going to be doing their Q&A. If you've never attended one of those and you've always wondered what it's like, it's really fun. I got to obviously attend the one at All Out. It was a really good time. Everybody gets to meet Brian and Dave, and, you know, they ask them questions, and they're really funny, so it's a good time. I'll be there. I'll probably be there selling raffle tickets again. That was my job last time. Maybe it'll be my job again this time. I'll be there too. So go there. It's a lot of fun. Again, that's going to be May 28th at the Future Stars Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. On top of that, there on May 28th on the Saturday at 6 p.m., there's going to be an F4W dinner at Texas de Brazil. And this is going to be all the meat you can eat, plus sodas, tea, and dessert. Drinks, alcohol are not included in this price. Sorry, I shouldn't have read the whole thing. I just copied and pasted. Saturday, May 28th at about 10 p.m., there's going to be an F4W sweet party at the Cosmopolitan, hosted by Ed in San Antonio. Then Sunday, May 29th at 10 a.m., there's going to be an F4W brunch at the Wicked Spoon, and this is located in the Cosmopolitan. So a bunch of events. If you want to see them all written out nicely with all the information, you can get tickets for these events. Plus, you can also get tickets for Dynamite, Rampage, and Double or Nothing. There are packages. There are different packages available for what you want to attend. So if you want to be part of this, please make sure you guys check out f4wonline.com/Vegas. Or you can go to f4wvegas.brownpapertickets.com. But again, it's on the screen. Type it in, guys. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good weekend, everybody. And we got one final super chat. Thank you so much to Eric Luis, who says, thank you for reading my comment. You made a good point. Thank you so much for being part of the stream, sending in some super chats, showing in some love. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on Twitter at _ Denise Salcedo. Have a great weekend, everybody. Enjoy AEW Revolution. Bye.